Oh boy, it has been an interesting couple of weeks. I always find it funny how, whenever I leave the internet alone for a few days to go to base camp, everything starts to get wild. Well, today, we're going to talk about the Twitter files, this series of leaks that's been coming out about how Twitter operated before it came under the strong African American leadership that it has now. The reason that Twitter used to glow brighter than the ATF at an ANCAP convention is because Twitter was literally getting pointers on how to run their company and, more importantly, how to handle problematic tweets from the FBI and DHS. That's right, boys. Your shitposts on Twitter have been a matter of national security all this time. Hey Johnson, when you get done trying to do voice recognition on those terrorists in that beheading video that I sent you, go ahead and start analyzing this soy jack. This soy jack that I found, I think it was drawn by the hacker known as 4chan, but I can't trace his whereabouts because the source is being routed through several proxies scattered all throughout Eastern Europe and Russia. And the sickest part about all of this to me is the fact that Yoel Roth, Twitter's former head of trust and safety, basically their executive Janny, he actually took pride in meeting with the feds about how to run Twitter. He was tickled pink at the idea that the federal government was assisting him in suppressing free speech within the internet's town square. But the censorship that was taking place on Twitter, it goes a lot deeper than just banning people for using gamer words and tweeting out some offensive memes. No, the censorship, it was very clearly politically biased and inspired. So you may remember that around the time of the 2020 presidential election, Twitter started putting certain notifications on tweets that had to do with election fraud, mail-in votes not being secure, or someone trying to steal the election. Those are just some of the keywords and phrases that Twitter's automated system would check for and suggests that these tweets needed a little bit of moderation. And if a tweet got swept up by this system, then they would put this handy little label on it to remind us about what the officials are saying, what the trusted officials are saying about our election, or they might just go right on ahead and delete your tweet and then shadow ban your account. This censorship, it wasn't just done to regular people, but it was also done to government officials and even President Trump. Most of his tweets about the election leading up to January 6 would get a warning label about misinformation applied to them. Twitter also prevented people from sharing and retweeting President Trump's tweets. We even have an example where James Woods was pointing out the censorship that was being done to President Trump by screenshotting Trump's tweet and then posting it from his own Twitter account. And then, within Twitter's internal Slack communication that got leaked, we can see them talking about, how should we handle this? How should we punish James Wood? He's been a naughty boy. Very, very naughty. So you can clearly see by how they worded this that the screenshot of Trump's tweet, this is what really got their panties in a bunch, but they wanted to try and find some other reason to take action against him so that the Twitter executives could not show their hand right away. And while all of this was going on, people on the left, or at least people that didn't want Trump to win the 2020 election, were coming up with the same kind of conspiracy theories about election fraud, the same kind of conspiracy theories about the election being stolen, and don't trust mail-in votes, don't trust mail-in ballots. We see pro-Biden people making essentially the same statements, according to Twitter's staff. Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, guys, you shouldn't trust the mail-in ballots if it's a Biden vote, only if it's a Trump vote. Twitter engineers, they even had to go in and manually unflag tweets from Biden supporters that the algorithm flagged to put a debunk label on it, like this one from Eric Holder. It's too late to use the mails. Given Supreme Court rulings, I urge everyone to now vote in person, early vote, or use drop boxes. Protect your health, but don't let the court and the deliberately crippled Postal Service deprive you of your most precious civil right. Plan your vote. So we can see that when there's a tweet like this from a verified pro-Biden guy or anti-Trump guy, whatever, The head Janny Yoel steps in and he says, "Hey guys, can we reverse the label on this tweet right here? Everything in it is factually accurate." He makes sure that the lower level Jannies get to their job, and look at that. It only took them 12 minutes to undo what the algorithm that they developed did. And again, we saw pro-Biden support coming from Twitter staff and how they handled the story about Hunter Biden's laptop, which contained some very degenerate pictures of Hunter Biden smoking crack and doing some other drugs, posing with crack and crack accessories, as well as prostitutes, which in some cases appeared to be underage. Possibly they were a donation from CEO of Lolly's Jeffrey Epstein. So Twitter's staff was so pro-Biden. Well, okay, let's be honest. Not too many people are pro-Biden. I genuinely can't think of anyone I know who is pro-Biden. I know plenty of anti-Trump people that voted for Biden. But anyway, Twitter staff wanted Biden to win so bad that they would bury stories that made his son look bad, just so that a tiny flake of mud wouldn't fly on old Joe's shoulder and cause him to lose 0.01% of his votes. Now, what probably annoys me the most about all of this isn't the fact that Twitter did this censorship. It isn't the fact that Twitter has these far-left biases. Okay, I knew that they had these for years now. And when you stop to think about it, it's really just common sense that a company like Twitter is going to have these biases because, of course, it's a Silicon Valley company. Had it been founded in a more conservative part of America, we may see biases the other way. But what annoys me is the fact that Twitter lied to me. And they lied to all of you right to your face by saying that they were unbiased, by saying that they were just the town square, that they were just this platform for anybody with pretty much any opinion to post on. No, it never was, and you trying to say that it is just insulting my intelligence. Now, like I said, Twitter is now under strong African-American leadership, so the past is in the past, but all of this begs the question of, was this election meddling legal or not? Of course, Twitter always stands behind the excuse that they are a private company and therefore they do not have to comply with the First Amendment and freedom of speech laws. But the FBI does. The Department of Homeland Security does. They are part of the government, and that's where I think things start to get illegal because they have been informing Twitter on what to censor. They have literally been sending tweets to their head Janny saying, "Hey, can you guys look into this?" So at the very least, I think that there should be an investigation into whether or not Yoel Roth, the FBI, DHS, and whoever else was involved with the censorship at Twitter did indeed break the law. Treason is the word that I see people throwing around, which sounds about right for meddling in democracy, but hey, I'm no legal expert, so I don't really know. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Will anyone from Twitter or these alphabet soup agencies be punished? And more importantly, will we see this kind of political collusion taking place on Twitter in future elections?